We are ready.
Ready? Okay. I would like to call to order the Charter Township of Oxford Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for Monday, October the 14th, 2024. If everyone would please rise and pledge respects to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Board Secretary, please note the roll.
Noted there is a quorum.
We will move on to approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to approval of the regular meeting minutes of September 8th.
I'll make the motion.
The 9th. You got a motion?
Yep.
I'll second.
Motion and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Moving on to item number 6, which is comments for items not on the agenda this evening. Anybody in the audience wishing to? Seeing none, we'll close that item. Number 7, any unfinished business? We have none. So we'll move on from that and move on to item number 8, which is new business. And this is case 24 ZBA 005. The property is located at 3020 Adventure Lane, Oxford, Michigan 48371. Parcel number is 0404376006. The applicant is seeking the following variances. A variance from section 3.7 of the Oxford Township zoning ordinance to allow for a front yard building setback of 28 feet instead of the required 50 feet along Adventure Lane, a private road. And the second variance is from section 8.7C.1 of the Township ordinance to allow for a front yard parking setback of 38 feet instead of the required 50 feet along Oakwood Road, which is a public road. So how our meetings will run, I'll introduce the item, which I just did. We'll ask the applicant to come to the podium. We'll ask questions of the applicant. We'll open up the public for public comment. We'll close public comment. Board members will ask questions, or if they have any further questions of the applicant. We'll deliberate, there'll be a motion, and then there'll be a vote. So, is the applicant here? Please come up, give your name and address.
Point of order.
Oh, yes, sir.
Due to the conflict of interest of having sat on the planning commission, I will recuse myself from this.
Okay. Very good.
I'm Tom Seawick with H&S United Construction. We're the construction manager for Barron Industries.
Good evening.
I'm Greg Barron, Vice President of Barron Industries.
And I'm Roddy Beslake. I'm the engineer for the project.
Okay, thank you. So please tell us what you're asking for and why we should grant you the variance.
Okay. So, what we're looking to do is expand on an existing building that's on the site. Right now it's a 10,000 square foot building that was acquired about 4 years ago by Barron Industries. Their main plant building is about 45,000 square feet right on Plexus Drive, just across Oakwood there, where we have about 80 employees, and we've been in business in Oxford for 40 years now. It's a foundry, so we do metal casting and machining, and in the last 10 years or so, we've been mostly a defense contractor. We got more into aerospace, and there's a big demand right now for cast product parts for the military and for legacy aerospace parts. And so we're looking to expand and create on that site. It's Advanced Technology Center for Aerospace and Defense Manufacturing. That would be mostly advanced CNC machining with some automation and some 3D additive manufacturing also. So we would take some of the equipment that's kind of packed into the existing building and move it, and then we'd have room to expand and add more equipment there. And we've done a layout. We've worked with Michigan Manufacturing Technology Center and one of their lean manufacturing experts, and gone through and laid out the building and looked at how much equipment we could place in there, knowing the room that we need from having had the operations for the last 30 years, at least of machining in our existing facility. And then we looked at if we had taken the building and tried to move it back and make it smaller, we'd end up, to not have the variance, we'd end up losing about a third of the equipment that we could put in there. And it just wouldn't make it feasible. So we started out with the idea of about 20,000 square feet. We pared it down to 17,500 square feet is the plan now. And we don't want to lose any more of that to make it a feasible project. Part of this is on Adventure Lane, which is a privately owned road, and you own the property on the opposite side of Adventure Lane. And then part is on Oakwood. We technically have two front yards. It'll really be kind of the side of the building as far as how the main approach would be off Adventure Lane into the property. And to meet the parking requirements, have enough parking spaces, those are what's creating the variance requirement on Oakwood Road. And then just the corner, the southwest corner of the building, creating the variance on Adventure Lane. Part of it is because the original building that was put there is unfortunately kind of put in the center of the property, not off in one corner, anticipating the expansion that we're going to do. And it's not the same type of building. The original building is a steel reinforced precast concrete that was built in the 80s, and we plan to put in a pre-engineered steel building, which is more affordable these days, and can be more flexible and just a better choice for the project. So, and the project is being supported by the Small Business Association of Michigan. So we'd really like to move forward with it, and I think we've done a lot of work on the layout, and we've gone through various iterations of possible layouts of the building and the paving and the truck docks in and out, and we think we've come up with the best solution here. So we'd ask that you consider allowing this variance, or these variances, so we can move forward with the project, and be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you. This item has been to the planning commission, correct?
Yes.
You did receive site plan approval.
Yes.
Preliminary.
Preliminary.
Preliminary site plan approval, I believe that is subject to the granting of variances, correct?
Correct.
You gotta go back for your final site plan.
Yes.
Yes.
Board member comments?
Question?
Questions, comments, questions?
I just got a couple of questions.
Sure.
On the front, are you eliminating that one little parking space when you do the building? It's like maybe 4 or 5 spaces that kind of runs parallel with Oakwood.
You talking to your mic? Is your mic on?
You want to answer this?
Yeah,
Right in
yeah.
here.
We got some wall packs on that building to light up those parking spaces kind of right up along there.
Okay.
And then we got one big, it's an actual light post, it's a concrete light post, but the light pole's missing itself. So I plan on putting a light pole and kind of shining the light that way towards,
Okay.
be the east end, kind of over those parking
Right.
spaces to kind of help light that up too.
And then along Oakwood, you've got drainage over there. Is it
Yeah, I got a little
basically
detention
a
basin
ditch
kinda,
is
yeah.
What you're gonna put in?
Yeah. I
And
kind of
then
I need to kind of sheet flow that into more or less a detention basin, then send it
So it has
over to.
drainage in it, what goes into the storm sewers
It's gonna end up going out to the road right away where it goes right now.
or? Okay.
But we got, basically, all our site goes across the street. There's a big detention basin that kind of dumps into there, and then from there, it goes out to the public road right away
Okay.
of Oakwood. Yep.
Thank you.
So, just piggybacking off of that question and answer, you mentioned that you have a detention pond across, or a retention pond across the street. Is that, part of the property as well?
Yes, we actually own that property, across the street. It's like a triangle.
Yeah.
Our road kind of, it doesn't after our property, it kind of follows and hugs that, say, the property line going north. But through ours, they kind of made it perpendicular to Oakwood, and then they straightened it out after they kind of left our property.
And is it a private, it's a private road, right?
Correct,
So, is there any consideration to move the road, so you do have,
Without really hurting that detention basin.
I'm just throwing it out there, I'm looking for some answers because, you know, you have a lot of proposed detention basins, it seems like it's a pretty unique site. And then you look at a private road that's going through, and that's what you're asking for is a variance, right?
Correct.
So I guess I just need a clear understanding of why you chose what you chose, right?
Yeah, so we did talk about, moving the road.
First, basically.
Yeah, in the beginning, I mean, it's suggested, but it's very expensive to do, and you kind of end up with the same thing of having a detention basin on both sides, and then you're just kind of trading, one
for
side or the other.
right.
Yeah.
There's an actual existing easement that actually runs there, so we'd have to re-record a new easement and have everybody say north of us agree. I think there's 3 parcels north of us. So it kind of had to be a mutual thing too.
Oh, for the other.
For the other parcels that are north of us, that driveway kind of connects everybody.
The
to.
storage units and,
There's somebody else up there too.
yeah, now it's, Quality Fastener.
Based on the aerial photograph I was looking at today, Oakwood has their prescribed 33-foot right of way.
Both, yeah, 66 total, 33 each side, yes.
So with that setback, applying the setback to that 33, that parking lot's in the existing parking lot today
Yes,
is in that easement. Right?
just clip,
Or in
yes,
that
just clips it,
setback.
yes, it does, yes.
So looking at your plan and kind of comparing it with the aerial, it looks like that parking will be pushed back farther to be less into the setback.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Yes, we're actually pushing it back further, yes. From
Making
the
it
right of way line, yes.
Less intrusive into.
Yeah, basically, it's like another 15 feet farther back from where it is right now, so yeah. It gives us the opportunity to put, again, a little detention basin in there, that path, the 8-foot path kind of, that's in there too. And then have a chance of landscaping there, kind of on the right.
You required per the ordinance, I believe, to have a 20-foot green belt.
Yes, we're supposed to have a 20-foot green belt.
Do you have it?
Let's see, 30, yes, we'll actually have it,
You
yes.
said you did.
Yeah.
Here talking to us.
Yeah, we do have it, yes.
And you're proposing to meet the requirements of the ordinance for landscaping?
Yes, we're actually in the process of finalizing the landscaping plans right now.
And same thing along Adventure Drive?
Yes, yep.
That site is a fair amount of topography, right?
On the east side, it kind of, there's a 10-foot drop from our east property line, come about 50 feet over, and there's a good one on Free Fall before it's the building right now. Yeah.
Because I looked at an aerial contour map and looking what the Greenwood Adventure Drive was about an 1082. I
Yep.
think you all the way up to about
1100, yes. Our east
Looks like
property
they
line's
flattened
1100.
out, come down like this and flat.
And there's some beautiful trees that we're not trying to take all of them either, so we just kind of nudge that slope towards the east a little bit, just to kind of get our driveway through there too. But we're trying to save as many trees on top of that hill as we can too.
So the configuration that you're proposing is essentially, it'll work for your operation from the equipment layout and everything that you do, right? There is no other way to lay this out?
We did look at some other ways as far as, putting the main, building, let's see, behind it. But then
We were always gonna hit,
Then
we
you're
were
hitting the
hit
hills,
the
though.
setback no matter
There's a
what.
50-foot there too.
Yeah, we were,
Right.
however we put it, to save the 17 and. why-
This was the least impactful way on that hill, you could say.
Somebody did a layout and didn't think about expanding the building ever, did they?
No. This is saying, they just didn't put it in a good spot.
Well, it's probably because of the grade, right?
Yeah,
I would think they just said, okay, it's straight line, and here you go.
That's a good point, yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
7:14 at this time, I will open up for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment and move on to any other comments, questions board members may have for the applicant? No? No? All right, I guess then we will move on to our findings of fact. pursuant to zoning ordinance section 17.8C. In reviewing the request for a variance, the following standards for determining practical difficulty shall be considered with no single factor being determined. Number one, strict compliance with restrictions governing area, setback, frontage, height, bulk, density, and other non-use matters will unreasonably prevent the owner from using the property for a permitted purpose or render ordinance conformity unnecessarily burdensome. Comments? Does it apply? Does it not apply?
Well, it would be burdensome for them because they wouldn't be able to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, but also, in that consideration, you gotta think, it's not permitting them from doing something. It's
Correct.
not permitting them to do what they wanna do,
That's
so it's not permitting them, so I don't know, my personal opinion, I don't think it applies.
okay.
But you're all here to speak. Thoughts?
I don't think it applies either, John.
Okay. Number two, the variance will do substantial justice to the applicant as well as to other property owners.
You know, do substantial justice for them, as far as the other property owners, they're quite a ways away, so I don't know how it would affect them unless it's the water situation.
Comments? Like, as always, it does substantial justice to the applicant.
Yeah,
Right.
it applies.
It does apply. I agree. All right, number three, a lesser variance than request will not give substantial relief to the applicant and will be not more consistent with justice to other property owners.
I think it applies as well. They went through a lesser variance and some of the different options that they had, so. I think it does apply.
I think it does too, and given probably the nature of that business and the way it's laid out, there's a certain way manufacturing has to occur. And I'm sure they've studied that hard and fast, so I think it does
Not
apply.
only that, but the property's a certain type of shape.
All right, the need for the variance is due to unique circumstances peculiar to the property, not generally applicable to the area for other properties in the same zoning district. Apply, doesn't apply?
Somewhat applies to some degree because of, the hill in the back. And
Yeah.
The top,
Yeah, I think the topography is,
Yeah.
you know, you got 18 feet of fall through that site. Two fronts of setbacks, the configuration of the way the road bisects that property being a private road.
Yeah.
I mean, in any other case without that private road, it's a side yard setback.
Right.
When we're talking about a front yard setback. You know, the fact that they are pushing that parking lot away from, so they're asking for a kind of what would be a lesser variance. I'm kind of encouraged by that, so we don't have to grant a larger variance along Oakwood. Any other thoughts? Okay. Number five, the problem for the resulting need for the variance is not self-created by the applicant or the applicant's predecessors. I don't think the applicant has created the existing condition. I think the site was developed in a different manner by whoever developed it and decided to plunk it right in the middle.
Right in the middle,
Say
right?
they built original developers.
Yeah,
So it does apply in that instance.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, at this point, any other questions, comments, debate, conjecture? That's where it's a conversation. At this point, anyone offer a motion for consideration?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Walters?
In the case of 24 ZBA 005, or, parcel 0404376006, I move to approve variance from section 3.7 Schedule of District Regulations of the Oxford Township zoning ordinance to allow a front yard building setback of 28 feet instead of the required 50 feet along a venture lane, private road. And two, to approve, the variance from section 8.7C.1 of the Oxford Township zoning ordinance to allow for a front yard parking setback of 38 feet instead of the required 50 feet along Oakwood Road.
Second.
In accordance with the findings of facts and the articles presented in our packet tonight.
Second.
Any discussion on that motion? Okay, roll call.
Magley,
Approve? Yep.
Payne,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Variance is granted. Thank you.
very much.
Thank you, guys.
Consideration.
Continued success in our township.
Yep, thank you.
Moving on to item 9, board member comments. Are we, have anything for next month?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge? No?
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure serving with you.
It has been a tremendous pleasure. Thank you for everything. You've done for this community. You're gonna be missed. You're gonna be missed.
I wish I could say the same.
Oh, that's on record too.
No, you guys will be missed. I will. On all my committees, this is probably my least favorite.
Any other comments?
I'm too broken up to.
I know. Wow, gotta bring somebody else in. Gotta bring somebody new
No,
in.
I have to say, it's been interesting
Yeah.
working with all of you. It's been a chuckle,
Yeah. Yeah.
but enjoyable.
Good.
I mean, I learned something too in
Good
the
for you.
same process, so it's good. It's all good.
All right, a motion for adjournment?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?